They just minimize mistakes, and that's the hard part of being able to take them out. So here we go. Just another one for Liquid to see what they can do, and obviously trying to start this tournament off on the right foot as they just watched NIP take down FAZE in the matchup earlier. And the pistol round is live here on Nuke.
And like Mathieu said before this went live, 6 out of the last 7 matches, all 3 mappers. So I feel like even if we do get another steamy result from Astralis, it's all par for the course, Jason. I don't know about you, man. I'm buckling in for the distance.
Ooh, that's a great shot from NAV. He's going to open things up 5 on 4, but again, it's not so much the kills. It's Astralis, their strength is how they can really exploit the map control that they have, and now there's a lot of pressure coming into this lower bomb site. Zip is still outside, waiting for some kind of a lurk, waiting for some kind of a rotation, but it's all on Elijah's shoulders, and he's missed his first salvo.
Yeah, they know he's here. He's going to go and try to take a different fight. That one versus Glaive, who gives himself the cover of the smoke. Great flashbang. 2 players peek for it, and it's Stewie to get himself onto the board. Bomb, fake plant. He goes back in for the fight. Glaive very much isolated and twists. Fast flank. That's going to give him a chance to drop bomb. Still no plant. He's pinched, but he's also punching right back the other way. Finally, NAF slows this play down and takes the 3v2.
Yeah, but there's still a chance. Zip's going to take some damage. It's all on Dupree. He's got to do so much low health on Nitro as he transitions down the ramp. And Dupree's still waiting. 45 seconds, and Astralis can choose to be as patient as they'd like, but Dupree is ever aggressive, and Nitro is pinned down.
Oh man, he wants this one. Nitro just trying to keep the top of his head down. Now realizes he can just wait. There's no real way for anybody to unearth him from this position. Even ZipX more patiently stands back. I mean, he has 14 health, so he wants Dupree to take that front line. The same way NAF wants Nitro in the front. And the big question is still, how do you get back across? How do you grab this bomb? How do you plant with 15 seconds? 2 CTs back towards control. Door swung wide. And he's just going to have to barrel out. He's able to cross. Now that enables the bomb plant. ZipX has to give cover. And he's going to go for it. 6 seconds. Finally decides to commit.
Yeah, but they're just so pinned down. They're limited. They're both inside the bomb site. Naf's committed. That's 1 kill for him. And now Dupree, too many angles. That's a pistol round. A hard-fought pistol round for Liquid. But they're on the board 1-0.
Gone ahead and done it. First kill, of course, happens on that cross. They skim one off of the numbers before they even get downstairs. Like you said, it's using map control, and they had map control. They split that B site. They had control window. Got kind of stagnant on the bomb site, though. Stuck behind that smoke. Glaive wasn't able to fast plant, and that's fine. They slowed it down, but then they lost control. 2 players on the bomb site in the post plant.
Yeah, well, I actually really like, I think most of it was the patience from Team Liquid. And I mean, you want to talk about how many times these 2 teams have played in a matchup. Like, Liquid knows exactly what to expect when Astralis slows things down. That's when you see opponents of Astralis frequently make those mistakes. When all of a sudden Astralis is so aggressive, and then they just stop. And then you don't know what's coming next. And that's when you can kind of slip up and get out of position. Liquid played that very, very well in the 2-on-2.
They're going to come in with a buy, of course. Couple of rifles in the mix. We had early grenades thrown out into lobby. Device, Deagle, contact, outdoors. Nobody here to face him, really. Now fly over towards CT spawn. But we do have Magisk out through Squeaky.
Oh, I actually thought he might have been able to spot a leg underneath that smoke, but it's covering everything, so Magisk might want to fall away. It looks like it's almost there. Another smoke going down in the door, but Magisk, he sees that. Oh, that's a great shot. Nitro can't react fast enough. And now it's on Twist, alone in the bomb site. No pressure except for the nade. Meanwhile, the attack heading towards ramp room.
Yep, and Elige, he hasn't found anything outdoors at all. They are, however, held back. That Molotov from Stewie is going to keep them at bay, and Elige does cull the numbers at least by 1. Very much corralled here through the squeaky door. Magisk was able to slip downstairs, but that's been dealt with, although he opened an opportunity for Astralis. They've all gone down towards B site.
And they've all swarmed down into the lower site. They all have great position. Elige with only 8 HP can only be passive and only be taken down. A plant is going to go in behind the silo, and the vents are being covered by Glaive, and he just stands his ground. Another 2-on-2 for Liquid to recover.
Yeah, again, coming in from that decontamination, they've gotten to the site, but ZipX with the high ground is going to seal the deal there. 2 kills. Again, we find ourselves on the B site, and the force buy works for Astralis. The economy plays to their favor off that plant, and they make it happen. Nicely done by Magisk. They're clearing out the vent player. You know, you see this one, this frag, when the smoke goes past. He had 1 real chance at dropping Nitro, and of course he nails it.
And this is just the strength of Astralis, so good in these rounds as well. Even everything going right for Liquid for some time there. Stewie forcing away that attack in ramp room perfectly in a 1 versus 3 as the sole defender. And even pushing forward to get the information. And they still can't come out on top, so we're all tied up 1-1. And it's Liquid's turn to try and recover with just the pistols. 3 Deagles, 2 CZs, and not a whole lot of utility. Pretty default spread for the defense at the moment. with Elige playing outside in the warehouse. NAF is going to be in the secret stairs, and they'll try and work together to find a timing to pinch any kind of presence outside.
All the utility thrown up and over. 3 smokes to get this outer yard. 2 players push towards red. Bomb doubles back towards lobby. Elige, no information added. And NAF, he's even fallen back slightly.
NAF's going to have a big test here. So is Elige actually as that smoke clears, and he's going to come on top of his, but NAF still, he needs to hold on to this. If Device can win this battle, all of a sudden that is a great amount of map control, but NAF wins it as well. Now Stewie, his turn with the Deagle, and with the 2-man advantage, he doesn't have to commit to that fight. He falls away and he plays it smart.
Yeah, he dips. He ducks back onto the side of ramp, and Zipex just takes his head clean off. Nice angle here from NAF, using those open doors to his advantage. A Molotov through control window means he can't go and head and peek, and Dupree should have had eyes on that cross. They know now that Zipex can instead, or Magist, excuse me, make his move towards control. So now doubling up on this, looking to fight shoulder to shoulder, but they've seen this. Flashbang meant to push them back. Again, the force buy works for Astralis' favor in the second and Team Liquid's in the third.
Yeah, unfortunately for Astralis, Liquid, that positioning from Elige and NAF, they found 2 1v1s with those Deagles with weird angles that Astralis wasn't prepared to peek into. So we trade rounds back and forth, a 2-1 lead for Liquid, and they're able to recover plenty of rifles. 4 players surviving in this round. They get 4 free rifles out of it. That is a huge economic boon for Team Liquid.
What a great way for them to just bounce back. Big shot from Elige, even bigger from NAFLI. If NAF gets pinched, if he dies in that situation, if he doesn't get his hands on that Krieg before they're able to clear out Stewie and work their way towards site, then he's not holding that angle. He's not cutting down those numbers. And Team Liquid, sure enough, are not going to win that round. So back and forth we go here, Jason.
This could be another tricky round, though. The buy isn't great whatsoever for Astralis. They have no armor, just some upgraded P250s, but this could be very fast. And if that chaotic, if that gets hectic and Liquid loses track of 1 or 2 players, it could be an issue. Nitro inside of the site, but he's the only one in this upper bomb site.
The old vent drop. Successful indeed. At least Astralis have that plant. They're not going to get themselves any cheeky pistol kills as of yet. Although, keep note of Dupree. He's floating around this A site. Only Zipex down beneath.
They've got the bonus money. If they can just pinch the upper bomb site, they can recover that weapon and maybe not even go for the win at this point. Maybe just try and find some guns you can use in the next round. Elige has to back away due to the dink, and you can see he's already bailing out of the fight, trusting his teammates to win this against just the Glocks, and they should be able to. Should be able to easily. Utility being put up. The defuse has begun, but it's all 10 seconds. It actually could be very dangerous. They're just going to be able to have it. Stewie finds Zip through the smoke, and a 3rd round for Liquid.
Tight one. This time, again, 4 survivors for Liquid, so we're talking about that accumulation of cash. Not only those free weapons, but 2 back-to-back rounds with only losing 1 player is going to be good for them. Establishing early. I mean, that 2nd round force buy makes you think, oh, here we go. Yeah. Astralis going to dump them already. But not yet. However, finding themselves back on the buy. This is when things get real tricky.
Now we get to see Astralis reach into the playbook with all the utility with the AKs, the Kriegs back in the board. And if we know anything about Astralis' T-sides, masters of exploiting outside control. And if they can establish that dominance early, if they can just teach Liquid that they'll still be able to control this outer yard, they have so many options open up based off of that control. Smoke wall is really messed up. Got to use an extra one to get past. Nade is going to come out perfectly timed. Massive damage on the glaive. Elige and NAF are tasked to defend this outer site, or this outer yard, and then the stairs that they're going to head down right now.
Yeah, 4 players down. Just Zipex kind of bringing up the tail end. Same angle from NAF. Same result, except he gets traded 1 after. Now, those doors already wide open. This is going to enable the push for Astralis. They're very rapidly trying to pinch into this so fast, in fact, that Stewie gets caught off guard, and Zipex, we talked about him, the tail end of the caboose, manages to drop yet another. So right into the gun rounds for Astralis, right into victory lane.
Well, that's where you could see that position from NAF that was so effective with the Deagle. If there's 2 players there, where do you go? You basically have to stand your ground and see if you can win that second flight. There's no real chance for you to fall back if there's an aggressive trade attempt from the T side. So he gets dropped, and obviously that lurker outside is going to cause a lot of problems. As long as Astralis doesn't lose too many players on the entries down those stairs, that lurker is going to be super effective. 3-2 now. But thanks to the fact that Liquid, upgraded to 4 of those rifles previously with 4 players surviving in that 3rd round win, they're still going to have the economy, the money to buy in the next one. So they'll still be able to have a pretty strong fight going into round number 6.
Outside, I think that's where the big question lies. What did Team Liquid do to try and throw a wrench into Astralis? He talked about it, the dominance outdoors. kind of trademarked by the Danes.
I think the big thing that I think Liquid's going to have to look at on this defense is how they want to rotate downstairs, because Stewie is frequently the sole defender in ramp room, and we've seen a couple times when Astralis head down those stairs, you know, Liquid's not able to rotate 2 players down there to shore up that bomb site. It's usually just Stewie coming by, and that time he didn't have the read on the timing. He didn't think they were going to turn that corner. He was being very casual as he tried to get into position.
Whoa, whoa, fast hut push already into the A site. Nitro from back behind the bomb site. Good job on getting 2. And a fast peek from Stu is what keeps them in control. But Glaive's on the clutch. Minute 30, and Stewie's gonna drop down. That's an audio cue and a bomb that can be picked right back up. Smoke fading on Mini. And Nav taking the high road. That AWP that he put over towards ramp did not see the light of day as of yet. And he's staying crouched here. He wants to play shoulder to shoulder with Elige.
Yeah, I like this rotation from Elige very, very much. Both going to be in the same position. They can both swing out wide if they hear that bomb going down. If Glaive can find some way to quietly pick up the bomb, though, there's over a minute on the clock. He's got so many options if he can recover that. And now Liquid want to go for the information. There's the drop down. There's the shot from Nav. Great teamwork. Doubled up towards Hut, and Liquid have a 4th.
Are you shocked by that? Are you shocked by how fast they come barreling out Hut? Because I feel like first players on bomb site were caught off guard.
You know, absolutely. Well, that flashbang was so brutal for Twist up in Rafters, and that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's designed to give Astralis that 1 second to find the entry kill. As you said, Nitro saves the day with a double kill in that round. If he goes down just after 1, if he gets traded, that round's essentially over. Astralis going for a very shocking uppercut, essentially. And Liquid are able to sustain. A timeout being called as well, as the Danes want to talk things over.
2 moments to praise for me in that mid round there, in the 2v1 advantage. I mean, the fact that Nav just tucks his head, stays crouched, gets into heaven but doesn't make a move, waits to jubble up with Elige, and then once they're together, you know, they feel like Glaive's up to something, and they didn't let him make anything further than that. You know, he checks his flank a couple of times. Once he decides to finally go and try to retrieve bomb, they drop on him. They use 2 different angles, 2 different levels of verticality, and they just shut down anything he was ever going to try to get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, the genius of that from Liquid is the fact that, you know, 2 players, they rotate to work together. Stewie had already gone down, and you cannot give someone like Glaive, or actually, you can't give anyone on this Astralis team. If they're on a 1-on-2, you cannot give them those individual fights. So that was very, very smart for Elige to come around and work together with Naf, both in heaven. Timeout coming to a close. 2-round lead for the North American side. Americans and Canadians.
Yes, it's true. Representation.
I won't leave you out like that.
Thanks,
won't do you dirty like that.
I feel you. I feel you. We're the right people to be casting this one, Jason.
It does work out. It does indeed.
But will it work out for Liquid? That's the bigger question. Again, we talk about that early half-buy win, keeping people alive, and now right back into another fast clash. Elige, turn around. Whoa. That could have gone either way. That's such a 50-50 moment. That's such a haphazard situation. But even on his retreat, he's nearly caught a second time.
I don't know if he spotted that player up top. Dupree with the deagle didn't want to peek at Glaive, trying to catch the retreating player, but Naf's there with the cover, at range with the op. You have to admire the aggressiveness of that play from Elige. He wants to get grimy with this fight. 4-2. And those 2 players, Device and Glaive, going down for Astralis, their strategy has gone to hell. They need to go to plan B.
Whether it was pushing to the bottom of Silo or even falling all the way back towards CT spawn, I don't think Elige let go of the W key that entire time. And oh wow, Magisk almost able to find himself way more than he should. Dupree's gonna pick up what was left of Twists, left on minimal health, and there's another great headshot. Another clutch attempt, and of course, it's not Glaive this time, it's ZipX. 50 seconds for him to play with. He already has the bomb, and of course, he rips the headshot. Another? No! Stu able to stop it. Op grabbed as 1 player survives. That round, all too close.
No, but it's so cool to watch from Astralis. So 3 versus 5 that turns into a 1-on-1. That is like a one of those kind of silver linings, a victory of sorts. But you know, the Des talked about the disparity between Liquid, who has an emphasis on individual skill, Astralis, who has the strategic and the tactical depth. Astralis can go down into that individual skill as well. That's how they come back in this 3 versus 5. There's no teamwork there. That's Magisk finding 1 kill in the upper bomb site, and the rest of his team being able to exploit the information that he gains.
So quickly too, right? The way Dupree just slips into Mini, gets 1 more, catches the headshot towards heaven. Like you said, just this explosive 3v5 turn 1v1. Oh, a bit of a robbery versus Naf. He does the damage, but doesn't topple Glaive. Can Elige, who steps up to bat, find more than 1? Because the first headshot's there. He doesn't want to trace ZipX. No, sir. Let him come to you. I mean, with this little of a buy, it's not meant to work at all. Twists making money off the SMG.
And they need it. I mean, 2 kills in this round so far for Astralis is not bad. If dupreeh can add 1 more on top of it, it's going to be a miracle if he could. But still, that's some damage done to an economy that can't really survive that kind of taking those losses. They don't have a lot of cash flow whatsoever. 6-2, a solid lead, but that can disappear very quickly if this money gets depleted. All AKs this round for Astralis, 5 of them on the board. Haven't seen the AWP come out on that T side just yet, and we've seen NAF with it. We saw it in the previous round. That gun's not able to be recovered, or maybe just they didn't want to recover it. Maybe they want to switch up the look of this defense. 2 SMGs, 3 rifles for Liquid. This could be that fast play towards the upper bomb side again, at least through the doors, at least down the vents.
Already downwards. Just sprinting towards this B site. No weapon in hand. dupreeh already in the depths of control room. I mean, Elige is wary of the potential for there to be a player here. Unfortunately, dupreeh runs into a bit of a wall here, rather a window.
Well, Elige has a lot of question marks. Does he clear out vents? Where is he going to go? And he is going to clear out vents, but oh, he's from the wrong way! No. And he somehow still wins it, but he might not have any idea dupreeh's down here as well.
That is the second time in back-to-back, or 3 rounds now, where Elige just is in this crazy 180 type moment.
Yeah, but he's going to get flanked out. Like I said, no idea dupreeh is here. He's never going to consider this as a point of danger. He's going to go down for free. Oof. dupreeh hunting it down. Elige still not considered it.
There you go. There's the secret stairs. This is going to enable the cross. Nafly's not holding it. They don't have that AWP in play. They're still limited by the double MP9. So, Bomb heads downstairs. dupreeh still on the forefront of this push, but he's caught with utility. This time, Stewie's not caught off guard. It's the other way around. And the entirety of Astralis is still on this site. Bomb drop. They're stuck in the molly. Look at all that damage coming from the flames. Stewie's lucky to be alive, and Magisk wants to hunt him, but does he anticipate twists this close? On the other side of smoke, excellent flash and even better shots. Down to the 1v2, Nitro's denied, and Astralis take their third.
Again, even on that rotation, even with Stewie getting a double kill, they don't have any presence inside the bomb site, so Astralis is able to apply so much pressure. This is a great find from Elige, obviously. Stewie's the play that I think is going to win it, but he tried to make that same slow play that got him punished earlier. This time it worked perfectly, but you were right. The damage was just too much. They could never get involved in the action. A third round, and this is where you see that lead. It's going to disappear so quickly. 1 Deagle, 1 CZ on Nitro. They don't have anything to fight with. All the money's been taken out of their hands over these past few rounds, and Astralis is going to be right back into this game.
Stewie looking to make magic happen with the D. Way too many bodies for him to control. I mean, Magisk has already crossed out. He's not aware of it. Here's the footstep, sure, but hey, 1 is not bad. Even Twist adds a second to the tally off his USP. That was a fast lobby flank.
Yeah, but the question, again, Astralis has already gotten downstairs. They're already going into the bomb site, so Nitro and Elige coming through vents, they're going to be able to buddy up on these doors. But how much can they actually do? dupreeh coming down the control stairs. Nitro needs to hard clear this, and he does. Now he's got a rifle, and they have no idea. Attention's been taken away from Twist position.
Zipex, though, he's just tucked himself back into the darkest corner he could find. He hides in the depths like a swamp monster, waits to strike. Nitro, sure, he's got his paws on a AK as well. That's 2 rifles retrieved, but slowly and surely, meticulously they work. Astralis bounce right back into the round. Just when you think things are too much to topple, they go ahead and claw their way back into it.
Well, it's brilliant. I mean, you could see Zipnix in that corner not even exposing himself, and he's just perfect. He's relying on device, but he's just relaying the information the whole time, hearing the footsteps, how many players are there, where exactly he is. So device feels supremely confident in turning that corner to take the fight. And then eventually, Twist has made his way into the bomb site, but he has no information whatsoever about anyone, about Zip's position. 6-4, 2-round lead, but a 2-round run for Astralis.
Elige looking to get aggressive outside again. That flash could work, but they turn slightly. Still, it's enough for 1. However, at the same time, we've got squeaky door blown open, smoke in front of it. Magisk can drop vent, and this has been something Astralis have punished Liquid with already. How many times are they going to slip through?
I was going to say, it doesn't even matter actually at this point if Astralis wins that battle outside, because Elige and NAF have done a good job with that, but Astralis has been able to get so many players down vent so consistently without any kind of information. So yeah, you're holding on to the outer yard, but there's a huge gap towards that upper bomb site. And Stewie, he might just get trucked.
Just is going to clear the closer of the corners. Still nothing seen. Stewie looking very wary, hoping Astralis make their move. But you said it earlier, right? Once Astralis kind of cools off, once they get quiet, you know they're still up to something. It's not like they're just sitting and waiting entirely. They always have a move to make.
Well, they're also cutting off all the rotations. One player watching vents, they have 3 players in the bomb site. If you're Liquid, you know they're in this bomb site, but how do you actually get here to defend against anything? Smoke goes up on the choke point, 17 seconds of delay at the same time the bomb goes down. That's going to chew so much time off of it for the defuse.
They'll attempt to get out, and the first man falls. Once that smoke begins to fade, it's replaced with a Molotov on the other side, so NAVI is convinced to just retreat.
Those vent drops, it's getting them way too much control without having to use a whole lot of utility. At least if you're forcing them to use utility and attack that outer part of the map, and if they're going to get down secret stairs, they have to expend all those smokes and Molotovs to be able to cross safely, all those flashbangs. Now they have all those for the post plant. And Liquid just gets locked onto the bomb site again.
For sure. And I mean, you saw it. That moment where Astralis just completely falls silent and continue to creep down secret stairs. You said, cutting off all the rotations, getting that map control, getting 3 players into the bomb site. Team Liquid made no proactive play.
Well, here's the thing if you're Liquid, is if they get down vents like that and they have that control, when Stewie gets surprised by Magus, he's calling out. Like, they know how Astralis got downstairs. They know it's through vents. So if you're a defender and you have to choose where to rotate, you know there's going to be someone lying in wait. You know that's a disadvantage every fight that you're going to find in that vent. So why even mess with it? But the problem is all the other choke points are locked off as well. They need to be able to do a better job of preventing that vent play from Astralis, and they need to do a better job of getting players into that lower bomb site if it's under attack.
2 rifles. That's what they kept from the last round. Grandfathered forward. 1 on NAF, 1 on Nitro. There was some early utility as well from Team Liquid here, just meant to couple with these rifles, just meant to slow them down on ramp. Door already blown open. NAVI hunts above.
You can just see while Glaive is spamming, Dupree is waiting for this play from NAV. He's hoping that NAV drops down and tries to go for something creative. It's not happened just yet.
Do it. NAV holds off for now. Another smoke to get the second rifle out of the mix, and there you have it. NAVI falls immediately. Elige cleared from outdoors, draws Nitro back, and that's both guns down. That's the round. That's Astralis tying this up for 6, most certainly. Poor Twists, pinned into the back of the site, will add 1 Deagle kill to the tally, but that's all she wrote. As we said, 6 apiece.
What a great round from Astralis, just applying pressure at Squeaky Door and waiting for someone to kind of come try and find some success, some kind of information, and they find it in NAF. 6-6, timeout taken from Liquid. And you have to imagine after the year that these 2 teams have had going up against each other, Liquid is going to be used to this. Going to be used to having that little hope of a bit of a lead and then having it ripped out of their hands slowly but surely. This has to be something that they were prepared for.
Listen, man, I've been right there. I've been right there with them. I feel the same
We all have. We've all been Team Liquid this year.
Back on top. Astralis, I mean, you know, this is what we've come to expect. We've come to expect 3-map series. We've come to expect Nuke victories for them. It's consistent.
13 kills on Elige, 13 and 8. He's leading the way for Team Liquid and indeed leading the way for the entire server. Dupree at 11 kills for Astralis is top fragging for them in this tied up affair. Round 13 coming in. Utility going to be used outside, setting up that smoke wall.
AWP will see nothing. A smidgen of a gap, perhaps. They'll silently cross by. This time there's no NAF tucked in close. It's just Elige back on the control stairs. He's already thrown out his smoke, so not even waiting to see T presence. Preemptive. Molotov as well, hits the mark. But that's okay, Astralis will wait. The same way they didn't sweat when they lost their early lead. Near non-existent nades here from Team Liquid already, but they're just going to try to hold the ground. Sheer aim may not be enough. Stewie, good damage on that second, but it's NAVI to keep it even at 3.
Well, at least they had their presence at this lower site this time. They've thinned it out. 3-on-3 scenario, but still that lurk outside. Zip might be able to get into action as Nitro clears things out. This is going to be a long rotation. They've always chosen, they've never wanted to mess with vents when they've had to rotate downstairs. All 3 players coming from ramp room. Dupree, Zip, and Device to defend against it.
Dupree, you'll see a shoulder. Ooh, replaced by a head. Twists denied and a second kill. So clean. Dupree wiping the floor with that Krieg. Smoke and a flash goes out. NAF doesn't have the cover, and he knows this cannon's valuable, so he will just fall off. He got 2 kills in the round, but nothing more. This is Astralis taking the lead.
Yeah, this is now 5 rounds in a row for Astralis. They have completely figured out this Liquid defense, and on the other hand, even with the timeout, Liquid have not been able to figure out how to hold on to this lower bomb site. It's been a weakness this whole time. I don't actually think Astralis has won a gun round in the upper bomb site. They've just been punishing lower over and over, whether it's outside, whether it's down the vents. Actually, excuse me, Liquid's done a pretty good job outside. It's down the vents that's been the real pain in this defense.
That's very true. We've seen Elige get aggressive at times. We've seen NAF be able to cull numbers from the cross. What's the answer? We've seen players close downstairs, but nobody actually invents for Team Liquid if they wanted to hold it from beneath.
Oof. Hello.
Goodbye.
It's a great shot from Elige to start things out. He's found Device. 2 players for Astralis pressuring ramp room. That's where Stewie's got the AWP, and when Stewie switches into the AWP, he's had enough. Great shot from NAF at the other angle. Stewie's gonna back off as the flames also creep out. And Astralis, a 3 versus 5. They're spread across the map. Dupree's gonna join up with Zip. Ooh, it's a scout, excuse me, not the AWP on Stewie. But he's got a tag.
It's 2 of the remaining 3 members of Astralis. Or at least what was. ZipX does get toppled by Stewie in the end here, but what they don't know is where's Magus got off to. He still holds 100 health, and the 1-tap dirt nap versus Elige in a 1v5 attempt.
Shouldn't be able to do too much. Even economic damage at this stage in the game isn't a huge deal. Stewie puts him down before anything can begin. All tied up again, 7-7. And going into round 15, we're going to decide who takes a lead going into halftime.
That's big. I mean, they came into that with 1 AWP, 1 scout, and a deagle. And it wasn't even the AWP that got more than 1. It was really the scout from Stewie and this opening frag from Elige just completely cut off their outer control. We saw Magus creep out there afterwards, but he got nothing further. The timing never playing to his favor.
This almost just feels like Astralis is trying to like maybe outcall a defensive swap where they just avoid that, the vents this time around. I have to imagine they'll go back to it this round. NAF misses a chance, but he's at least alive, and he's got to be happy with that one.
That's a dangerous cross. He just runs to secret stairs in front of them. And while Elige will catch Glaive, there are still bodies here for the T's. Oh, he didn't hear him. Elige didn't turn around fast enough, doesn't deny Dupree any further map control, and look at him go. Already getting to the cusp of hell, where Stewie shuts him down, but now he knows he's foregone this ramp. Luckily, Nitro holds the map control elsewhere, and bomb's not on the back of the 2 Ts who do head over towards this side of the map.
And again, another good call from Stewie as well. Doesn't need to take that fight. 4 on 2. And just backing away when you realize they've already got the angle on you. NAF with the AWP, gonna hold downstairs, sees the shoulder. Good baited shot from Zip. But again, with no teammate, and the bomb actually dropped all the way towards Redbox, towards T-spawn. Astralis has a lot of time. Zip has a lot of time to hold on to this bomb site, and then how do you get Device there without anybody to help him?
Yeah, let's see. Well, Nitro playing outdoors. NAF still down on B. Like you said, Zip all the time in the world. Not being watched on the cross, I don't think. Stewie, his attention turned between hell and outside. There's timing. And Device has actually found that just minute moment where he could actually cross for free. Then the next question is, how does he get into the site? Control doors closed. NAFY here, in position, distracted by ZipX. ZipX now starting to fluster him, create a ruckus, look to start the rumble, doors open, and bombs over on site now. There it is. One opening that should never happen, but it's all shut down by Nitro, as it should have been in the 4v2. Liquid with a lead, but a minimal one at that, 8-7.
They had a really, really tough stretch in the middle of that, but I mean, the 2 rounds right at the end is a beautiful thing. So that's not a bad half. It's just some real big deficiency in that vent defense. That was really, really brutal for them. Either way, we're gonna head to a break. We're gonna find out who's gonna take this map when we return. Welcome back to Blast Pro Series Global Finals in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Team Liquid taking on Astralis, this opening map of Nuke in this series. And Liquid takes an 8-7 lead to start off the second half. But it has been a grueling affair. They had a lot of pressure put on them by that Astralis offense. Yeah,
and even then, I mean, we got to give Liquid some credit here. They've doubled up the CT rounds they got in comparison to the last time they found themselves on Nuke. So that's something. But by, the skin of their teeth at times, Astralis certainly looked composed throughout it all.
They found a weakness and they really leaned on it. That was huge. That 5-round stretch that they had right in the middle of that half, a lot of that, or towards the end of that half, I should say, was all based off getting downstairs through vents, and Liquid never had an answer for that. They're actually, it feels like they're very fortunate to get away with these 8 rounds.
Yeah.
They might have just been stuck on 6.
No, I mean, they went, the force buy in the 3rd round with just pistols, and one of the 2 closing when they had that scout with Stewie on ramp. Like, those are 2 anomalies, really, that could have very easily gone the other way. Wouldn't have given Liquid as good of buys. So, you're right. There is a world where this is still 4 rounds, but it's not. It's 8 as we start the second pistol. 1 round separates this. Team Liquid, who have never been able to really best them here on Nuke, will try.
Even NAV expressing a lack of confidence in an interview with HLTV on this map against Astralis. So, ooh, that's a good early damage, and Device still going to stick around for the fight. He takes some in return. It's traded right back. 4 HP on Device, 2 on Stewie, but Glaive, he can see the shadow, he can see the barrel, and he's gonna fall away. Device has just saved his life.
Glaive still up, still in the mix. So much damage done by from Dice Outdoors that they just clean sweep pistol. They couldn't even best Device, who's on 4 health.
I mean, that was so close to Team Liquid turning that corner and just steamrolling that entire defense, but what brilliant peeking from Device to give Glaive the time to fall back into the site. Dupree as well with the timely kill, and Glaive just gets into enough cover, and it felt like Team Liquid just a half second off on all these attacks that looked like they were going to be successful. 8-8.
Damn.
Start the first half, we had those traded rounds back and forth for the first 3. We'll see if, Liquid not investing anything into this second round at all.
Oh, and let's contrast these vent drops.
Yeah, we'll have
not
to
quite as successful.
Well, this one, we'll give him a break. There's fire, there's no armor, there's SMGs, but Dupree, he's going hunting for money. Twist is going to drop down behind. He's already been spotted. He's going to go down. 9-8. Astralis take a lead.
That's 5 alive in both pistol and conversion. Those SMGs also fed the frags. No upgrades needed even. Astralis will be content to start their CT side in such a position, but here's the buy up from Team Liquid. Like you said, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt in the last round. I'm curious to see whether they try the hot drops or
it's the least we can do.
If they've got something else to work with. What's the game plan, boys?
Alige heading outside. Nitro and Twist with these smokes to help him gain control. There's the second smoke, but there's a massive, massive gap in that. And Alige, he doesn't have another one to plug the hole, so he might just have to duel right between that, but that'll give Glaive an advantage. Who backs off from that fight. He's got Magisk on the high ground to help him out.
Yep, that's information. They know nobody's gone for the cross. Even Alige, it's kind of harder to make his play. Molly down towards ramp. Good timing on it. They're going to go ahead and extinguish the threat. But ZipX still resides down at the base of ramp. Magisk drawn into the fight and unsuccessful in picking up a kill. Sure, he takes Stewie down to 44, but that's Team Liquid 5v4.
Yeah, but they don't have a lot of utility. In fact, all they have is the one Molotov. That might have been miscommunication between Magisk and Zip on the defense. Magisk overcommitted for how much Zipnix was falling back. But with no nades, I don't think there's a clear plan of action for Team Liquid. They've got to rely on Alige being able to pinch into this upper bomb site, and they have to rely on the fact that they can have multiple different angles to attack this site.
Yeah, Glaive, he's back behind site.
Look at Stewie.
Is open. Deep hell control from Stu, too. He's just watching for the B to A player, but no way. Dupree cuts off bomb. Glaive's back turns one thing, and there's Naf with a wallbang frag to open up the A site. A little bit of damage control. ZipX sent back, sending down the vent. Device is going to catch a player on cross. Naf, that is dangerous. Dodges the grenade and gets back towards lobby, but he's lost his teammate in Stu. Does he come back in for this fight? If he does, Device is ready. Nafly's just gonna crawl his way out here, clearing the corners around, and Device not ready for it. He thought he was going all the way back through hut, and Naf with that smug smile.
Yeah, Naf called his bluff a little bit coming back in towards doors, saying, surely you think I'm wrapping all the way around to buddy up with Stewie over towards the hut entrance. What a round from Naf. These are the things that Astralis does that just make you scratch your head. The SMG should not be able to double up a door in that fashion. Liquid with some very weak trading in that regard. But still, I mean, it's just such a grind to get into these bomb sites. That's a costly win for the Liquid offense to start things out.
Especially when you still had 2 SMGs kept forward from the last round, and the fact that Astralis had so much cash. There's the vent drop. Stewie at 32 HP. They didn't even use a smoke.
Look at Elige again. He's actually, you want to talk about calling a bluff, he's just walked through the smoke wall outside and he's going to get punished for it. Trying to go all the way around, and it was not to be. Device had just come back with the op.
He tries to make that play with a UMP.
Bold.
Very.
Zip is downstairs, Device in ramp room with the op. He's going to gain a lot of information. Stewie is in the vents, but again, so much control for Astralis. Glaive is pushed into T lobby. Device is in, or Dupree's in the hut. Device is in ramp room. So now Astralis has, they know exactly what's coming. They know it's going to be in the lower bomb site. Device is going to creep closer down the ramp to help Zip. They've got a crossfire setup that is going to be just brutal.
Yeah, they just hope that Team Liquid walks into this. And I mean, there's no silence being used. Team Liquid just stomping, making it very clear what they're up to. And Stewie gets dropped by the op a second from Device. More shots coming out of control, and he's gonna nail a third. Just ripping them apart and giving them nothing. Nitro gets into the mix in the end, but so be it. You're alone now. You upgrade into a FAMAS, and this B site's just possessed by Astralis. They're in control. They've got your bomb. They're amidst the corpses. Look at the lineup of bodies here of Liquid.
That's an ace for Device as well with the op. The re-peeks towards control. That's something that's usually not allowed, but every time he peeks, the player from Liquid has a nade in his hand. Not prepared for the fight. What a beautiful round for, I mean, you have to say, beautiful round for Device, but he's able to do this, these 4 kills, because of the information gathered from Glaive taking control of lobby, because he's flanking outside, because Dupree's in the hut. They know everything about Liquid's positioning. And yeah, that says it all. Yeah. Smoke smile in the last round, head in the hands this round. They were outplayed in so many ways.
They find themselves relegated to pistols. We were tied at 9, but it's double digits for Astralis. First heads presented to Device, and he's gonna get his tapped. To 13 health, he falls, but he's got support in Glaive, and Glaive's got cover too. Magisk even wants to get into the mix. We talked about feeding those SMGs well, and he's looking hungry.
Stewie and Nitro, still a chance here, 2-on-3. Especially if they can find Magisk. If he wants to go for a few more of those kills, they might be able to pick him off. They're being patient, letting the defense reconsider and reposition on the map.
There's no shame in slowing it down.
Magisk is still being aggressive though, so he's going to have intel, especially now. And that is a nice backflip. 10 out of 10 for Stewie.
Yeah, didn't quite stick the landing. Nitro giving chances on the Deagle. Doing the damage and doing the deed. Ooh, how about another? Dupree now up at bat, anticipated and naded. ZipX gets it done.
2-round lead for Astralis. But it feels like they're going to start picking up momentum here. This defense has seemed solid. Just 1 round hiccup that came into a 1-on-1, but that was with SMGs. Ever since then, they've looked great. They've had all the reads, they've had all the right rotations. Liquid going to call a timeout before this buy comes in. Nitro's already invested, and they will buy around it, but they've got to call a tactic first.
21-12 and Dupree here, leading the side of Astralis.
Individually, it feels like Liquid is matching up just fine.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like there's anyone, you know, going too crazy on Astralis. There's been no insane clutches out of Zip in this game. There's been one really nice round from Device with the AWP, but it's more tactically that Astralis is just outplaying them, outworking them across this map.
And I'd say timings, too, have gone to the way of Astralis. I can at least 5 kills in this game have been because Liquid are holding nades. And 3 of them in 1 round alone, but it's happened throughout both halves. So Astralis just on point. As per usual.
As per usual. No one's surprised by that one. Round 21. Smoke's being used. Elige and Stewie leading the way outside. Magisk is going to get aggressive, though. He's going to be right inside that smoke. He's going to do Elige's play against him, and he's going to come out on top. Oh, no, he's not. But so much damage done to 2 players. Elige on 1, Stewie on 12.
187 damage and no kill. That is, I mean, that is a robbery. Elige just tucked into the corner there to survive. So sure, they've got the 5v4, but at what cost? Even in terms of utility, single smoke left up here for Liquid. They've got the mollies if needed, flashbangs for an outer hit or upper hit.
Problem is, Stewie can't really do a whole lot to apply pressure and sit down secret stairs. He has control, but there's nothing he can do with that low of health. And now Device is getting into position again. It's a perfect read. Great damage on a Nitro. And Dupree is just going to double, maybe triple, but no. Nav shuts him down very quickly. And Device just trying to spam, trying to take attention away. And he knows the flank is coming in. Zip is going to bail him out of a tough spot. But Astralis are going to have a retake.
Bomb down in the back of the site. Glaive back behind them even, but caught by Twists. Good thing he goes back to check lobby. They're very wary of a heaven play, but there's nobody there just yet. Oh man, Device, if he thinks he's going to walk all the way around through lobby,
no, they're going to.
Retake's not going to happen.
No, they're going to call this one off. They've already just called it very early on, and not a bad. You can't blame them whatsoever. Preserve the economy, which is already pretty battered as it is for Astralis on the CT side. So Liquid able to get away with one, considering all the damage done by Magus early on, and you could see how close the margins were. If Magus gets even just one of those kills, that might not be around.
Yeah, and a nice touch is Naf's able to trade to the player on Hut immediately. Ooh. We talked about maybe that's 2, maybe that's 3, but all the players who still had health were the players that made contact through Squeaky. You know, what was left of Liquid went all in, and they were able to trade. Device, good attempt with the blind shots, good attempt to keep the pressure off of anybody else, but even when ZipX helped him out, he wasn't able to get back into the mix. And this is just incredible. I mean, that could have so easily been Magus with an easy 5v3.
Yeah, it really could have been. And I mean, even at the end, this kill right here, I think Device fell asleep at the wheel. We saw it from his POV. It looked like he was maybe having a conversation, maybe looking over to communicate with the teammate as the round came to a close. And Allegion's able to take that AWP out of his hands. That's actually a big kill to find. Astralis, it looks like they might go ahead and you know, force up around this with one AK-47, but they would have loved to have had that AWP. That would have made this force so much more dangerous. Big time.
Play the money, chuck a gun over to an armored player, and you've got 3 hard hitters. Instead, they'll find themselves with just 1.
11-10. This is the best chance Liquid has at not only tying things up, but slingshotting that into some kind of a lead. Surely if Astralis loses this and aren't able to recover any kind of guns, they would be at a massive disadvantage.
Let's see, this is it. This is Liquid with another chance to close that gap, cut it down to 1. I mean, we talked about the lopsided results of the matches, but in terms of score, I mean, keeping it close, Team Liquid. Closer than it has been as of late. Oof, and Stewie gets the wallbang immediately. Elijah adds 1 to the tally, 2. 5 versus 3 straight out the gates. This single AK into the mix, however, and it is in the hands of ZipX.
I think this is the second round in a row now that Stewie's had to play with 3 HP from the start. At least this time he's got a kill for his troubles. Elijah and Zip just narrowly missing each other, but ooh, he might get a free one here. He spots that out, going towards the vent, either in the corner or inside the vent, but there's a time limit because Device surely going to be able to find Elijah, and he does. Headshot there, but Liquid's already evacuated through the door. No one to stop them, and into the site we go, but Astralis can fight for this.
Yep. Astralis, they had gone 2 players down vents. Dupree was caught, ZipX slipped in silently.
There's a chance. Astralis can either go for this or they can call for a save, and neither one of those, you couldn't argue too much with either call and just say, let's use these guns in the next round. Yeah, we're going to let them tie it up, but those 2 AK-47s would be massive. If they're to lose this round, if they go for it and lose everything, next round's going to be brutal. So Astralis making another economic decision here to play this passively, to let Liquid tie things up, and to have a buy in the next round.
Astralis playing smart. I, for one, not shocked. Letting this one slip through and knowing that they've done enough. Stewie, he's going to be all right. No worries. 11 apiece. 11 rounds apiece. Close as can be. And this gets interesting now. Team Liquid, we're talking a successful T-side. I mean, it was very much a glaring issue on the defense. Vent was so consistently abused. We've swapped over, and I can't see an issue as of yet. There's no obvious problem as they rack up these rounds.
I think the real crazy thing is they've been able to win these past 2 with 2 players. You know, 2 rounds ago they had 2 players down below 5 health. Last round was Stewie down at 3 HP. So they've been able to pull a couple away despite some early damage. Astralis has been doing a pretty good job, and Twist here gonna get Liquid start on the right foot. Open and kill, and Astralis doesn't invest around the 2 saved AK-47s. They wanted to see what those weapons could find in the round, and so far the answer is nothing, which is a problem for this Astralis defense.
Dupree would love to get into the mix from secret stairs, and there was a molly that blocked him off, so it gives ZipX a chance to get into the duel. That weapon drop could very well be retrieved.
Yeah, Dupree, you might as well just get aggressive and go for it, and he has indeed. He's found the AK-47, and I think they have the read that this is going to be a lower bomb site hit. You can see the dots all rotating over. Zip is here. He can stall things out. There's Dupree in control in the windows. That's one kill. Massive damage again to Stewie, and Zip going to come through the smoke, getting aggressive. Another kill, another 2 for Dupree. He's finally shut down, but he's done it.
Wild, just absolutely wild. Did they get that one kill outdoors, that one weapon given over into the paws of Dupree, and then he just wrecks face down on the B site. This frag from ZipX opens up a world of opportunity for this man. Dupree on the cross, back in on doors, 3 kills for him with a picked up AK. So we talked about those rounds that shouldn't have been for Liquid. Well, there's one back on the side of Astralis, and it nets them a half buy on the other side.
We also talked about keeping an eye on if Astralis would be able to hold on to vents. At least this time you're seeing the defense able to get into that lower bomb site. Quick action in this round. Stewie's down vents. But all he can do now with 15 HP, he's played most of this half with like no health.
Yeah, he's been one shot the entire time.
All he can really do here is look for the flank and hope that his teammates are able to get a kill. He actually comes up, he hears the reload. That's a great call and a great save from Magisk.
Yeah, 15 health, just go for it. But ZipX is gonna be caught with a nade in hand. He retreats and still pops the bottle. They're gonna go ahead and charge through it. Bomb thrown into the open. ZipX just making mincemeat of this push. Glaive is here to support, and like you said, the rotations. Everybody getting down into the site. This time, sure enough, versus an all-in pistol. But regardless,
that's the big difference, is when this lower bomb site is under attack, you could see Liquid, they're having to fight people at the doors, fight people at the silo, fight people at the ramp. When Astralis is able to get downstairs in the first half, they're fighting people in that hall. They're not even actually in the bomb site whatsoever, so it's much easier. They're blocked off by utility. It's a very narrow choke point to aim at, to pre-aim at. And that's what's making this so difficult for Liquid to get control of the lower site. 13-11 for Astralis, they've regained control. Just a small 2-round hiccup. 3 rounds away from taking map 1.
Yeah, 11 to Astralis, 9 to Liquid, turn back 11 all, then 2-round lead established right thereafter. So, back and forth we go. Another pause called as it comes to a close. At least we're back in with a buy. It's limited, double Galil.
Yeah, but they got a Krieg. Although it's in Stewie's hands, so chances are he'll be put down about 5 health in the first 30 seconds. Here we go. No AWPs on the field of play either. Again towards outside with Elysian and Stewie working together. So many smokes used early on in this round, and surely they saw Stewie jumping across. And again, as we mentioned, Stewie just having a rough half with his HP.
That's 4 or 5 rounds in a row now. In the first 30 seconds, he's toasted. But at least he is downstairs. Doesn't decide to venture much further. CT rotations are not preemptive. They're just gonna hold what they have.
They're keeping everyone up this time, even though one is crossed. They're keeping everyone upstairs. No one's dropped into that lower bomb site just yet, so this is another huge read from Astralis, knowing exactly what's coming. And Liquid, if they try and adjust and kind of pinch towards this upper bomb site, there's a lot of bodies here to shut this down.
They hold. They're calling Stewie's bluff. I mean, he could be anywhere at this point. But he hasn't ventured further in Secret itself.
Dupree has no smoke. If they throw a Molotov into this position, and Naf has one, he's going to be forced into the open. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but we'll see it frequently. Glaive's going to have a fast rotation up the ladder, but he needs Dupree and Magisk to get 1 or 2 kills to delay things.
And Elige at any point could wrap around through Mini here. Magisk just holds it from the back of the bomb site. There's basically 3 members on A. Crossfire here between these two, and Heaven on top of it. Flash, and no Molly. They opt not to clear Dupree, and now he's gonna go huge, dropping 2. Device into the mix as well, and they're cleared. The kill feed full of frags from Astralis. I mean, you just said it. If they molly him out, he is done for, and they could have. The timing was there for it. Instead, they just throw a flash. It's like they thought about it. But
that was a really ugly execute. They had everything. They had the setup perfectly. The setup itself of the round was beautiful.
What is this front side molly supposed to do?
I am not entirely sure. But I mean, you had so many times, you had such a long period of that round where that setup was ready to go. All Naf has to do is throw that Molotov, and maybe that Molotov is designed to go elsewhere, but not clearing that out is just so brutal. 1 flash at 18 seconds left, and now an upper rush into a nade, into a Molotov. 2 players burn. and this is going to be an easy one for Astralis. They're going to be on 15 with 4 chances to close out this opening map.
Yeah, they've had enough. This is the closing portion of map 1, most certainly. Astralis just easily getting through these last couple of rounds. I feel like that execute on the A site, the one that they fumbled when they didn't clear back vent, that was really their last chance back into this match. Unless they're going to fight out of OT.
Well, we'll see. Krieg's coming in, AKs as well. Plenty of utility for Liquid to use, but as you said, this is like the last chance. They've got to go on a 4-round run, force it into overtime. And they have not had a whole lot of consistent success. Molotov's outside, smoke being put up, but Device, that position, he'll be able to gather information. He hears no footsteps.
And 11 rounds is so frequently the threshold that Astralis can't surpass. Yeesh, Device comes back through smoke and trades. This leaves the entirety of Liquid over here towards Ram. Zipex doesn't know what he's up against, and he's maybe not going to get all that info. 4 bodies dropping down towards B as fast as their feet can take them. Device into control, hits that immediate headshot. Stewie is able to trade one, so now they do have a bit more space to work with, but Decon swung wide and Magic's denied. The plant is theirs. Dupree in for the clutch 1v3.
I wonder if he goes for this. They have a lot of money, so they can handle it if he does and he loses. Clock ticking down. Great positions from Liquid as well. He might just get into a fight and just back away, win or lose. I mean, if he doesn't win this, he might just back off. And indeed, even with winning it, he doesn't want anything to do with the rest. He knows there's just way too many spots to clear out. So just adding one more kill onto things, it's going to be 15-12. That's a nice hit from Liquid. Twist coming through the smoke, catches Zip unaware in ramp room. But really, it's a stunning opening shot from Elige that opened up the opportunity.
Big time.
Because remember, that's the rotator. That's the guy who falls back towards ramp room to help Zip.
Even though Device plugged it, immediately traded that outer kill. Even then, they didn't let off the gas pedal towards ramp, and I think that's really what got them, just sheer tenacity down to that B site. Take a second to appreciate what we've seen, 29 and 14 from Dupree.
He is one of those players where I didn't even realize he was at 29 kills. You just
yeah, we talked about it. We said, like, you know, there's no big standout performance, and then all of a sudden he's one frag off.
Well, that was the thing. There wasn't in the first half. This has been like a very quiet 29 kills, if there is such a thing. Nitro brought low, so is Glaive.
Locking horns through mini. Neither Ram falls. Glaive just wants to safely tuck himself back away, cover. Play a buddy system, play contact. Set Zipex up to succeed. You can see Zipex playing anti-flash in ramp room now. Glaive's just gonna be that information machine. Seeing as they went for that burst last round, it makes sense. Tuck him away. Off in the mix, smoke and a flash in his face. Elysian Device dance outdoors yet again.
Device going to appear under the smoke as well. Again, just a little bit of information that he can gather. Good nade. A little bit of damage on his Stewie. There's 2 players here. Astralis really feeling like there's going to be some ramp plays, but look at this from Elige. Wrapping around Device outside. Upper bomb site, under attack. Magus goes down. Device has found Twist, but surely he goes down any second. Elige has finally found him into a 2-on-2. But no one expects Zip flanking around, and there's the win for Astralis. It closes so quickly. 16-12.